All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Rockland Board of Health for Thursday, April 7th, 2022. It is now 6:01 p.m. Those present is Christine Stewart, board member, Cecilia DeRosa, board member, myself, Scott Margolis, health agent, Delshorn Flip, Janine Oliveira, administrative assistant.
He always calls the wrong name.
I always do that. Okay. I'm sorry, Janine.
I want you to say Amy's last name.
Yeah. And Amy Phipps, right? Yeah. All right.
Wow.
All right. First item on the agenda are signatures. Do we have anything or no?
No, we don't have any signatures.
Okay. Right.
It's just a hearing.
Well, it says signatures
Oh,
on
it
there,
does.
so I'm just
Okay.
going down the agenda.
All right.
All right. Second item on the agenda under new business is the hearing regarding STM Associates Corporation Rockland Mobile on the Go. It's the second violation within a 36-month period of enact and modernize tobacco control and 105 CMR 665, the violation date of March 9th, 2022. In addition to those I mentioned a few minutes ago, present are also DJ Wilson, the Tobacco Control Director for the Mass Municipal Association, and Kathleen Mahoney, South Shore Tobacco Coordinator. So this meeting was set up, this hearing. At our last meeting, we were presented with evidence of violations, as I just mentioned, and there was the state mandated $2,000 fine and a 7-day suspension that was handed down by this board. The owner of the mobile station of STM Associates has since appealed that decision, and that is why we're here right now. So, Kathleen? Yeah.
So on March 9th, around 1 o'clock, I entered into mobile. The state assigns pricing surveys that we have to do. It's about 30, 40 a month. So I entered just to do the pricing survey. While I was there, I noticed that there was Game Green on the shelf, and that's a flavor that's been banned. So I did look into it, and there was Game Green and Game Green Sweets. Game Green Sweets is okay, Game Green isn't. I talked to the manager, and he had mentioned that it was a mistake. While I was there talking to him, some girl actually came in and wanted to buy all the Game Green, which was kind of odd, but that's neither here nor there. And I looked at what she wanted to buy, and I found more additional Game Green in there. So I took those out. I told her she cannot buy those. Alam and I then went out back, and we looked at all the Game Green that he had. And we bagged it up, we marked it, and we put it in the box for it to be returned to the distributor. I will say while I was there, he did say it was a mistake. He showed me an invoice that did say Game Green Sweets. We kind of discussed it, and he can verify that, that's part of his job, is to make sure this isn't on the shelf. He did say that there was some other girl there that put it on there by mistake. And I just said, well, it is a violation. It has been in effect for a while, and we put it out back on the floor. And then I finished my pricing survey and my inspection.
Okay. Any questions?
I do have one.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I apologize. So it was 7 4-packs. So it's 7 4-packs of the Game Green and 30 of the 2-packs. Of Game Green that I put out back. I just wanted to make note of that. And I took a picture of it that I put on it, do not put out or sell.
Yep.
Were there any additional out back?
No, there was not.
And this is the second violation, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What was the date of the first?
That was November 1st, 2021.
And at the time of the first inspection, was there the Game Green present?
Yes.
Okay.
That and numerous other products that were not allowed.
Did there appear to be a confusion at that point?
Game Green has been pretty straightforward that you cannot have it. Granted, it is they now came up with the new one, Game Green Sweets, but you should be able to order it at all in Massachusetts. So that's what my concern was.
That was my question. How is it? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not allowed to be ordered, so how is it being ordered.
That's what we don't know.
Okay.
I can't speculate, but it shouldn't have been in the store because you're not allowed to order it in Massachusetts.
May I ask straight, what is the difference between Game Green and Game Green sweets?
Do you want it?
Sure. First of all, some of these that are not allowed to be in general tobacco retailers or in adult-only retail tobacco stores may still be sold in Massachusetts because technically smoking bars, which are hookah bars and cigar bars, are able to sell them. But it should be a minuscule part of distributors of what they're selling of their stock. So it should be, and the distributor should know that, you know, if you're not a smoking bar, I can't sell this to you. They should know.
Okay.
What was the question? I've already forgotten.
Oh, the difference between Game Green and Game Green
Yeah, so what we've
sweets.
been telling people, the legislature made the decision that manufacturer would have to provide a letter to retailers for every product line that they sold. And in that letter, they would list out what are non-flavored and are in compliance with Massachusetts law and can be sold. We can't verify, you know, we do have a way to verify if they're, you know, not telling the truth, but this doesn't get to that. So what I've been telling Kathleen and her counterparts statewide is just go by the list exactly, because they change the names of these products all the time. And we don't know I can't tell you what the difference is, but we do say, you know, if it says Game Green España on it, and you have Game Green on the list that says French, that's okay. Oh, that's not okay, because only the French is allowed. Like, we're being that specific, and if a manufacturer wants to, a retailer wants to fight with us, they can go back to the manufacturer and ask, you know, what went wrong here, or should you amend that letter to us?
Okay, thank you.
So we do have a representative here from Mobile.
Hey, my name is Tariq. I just wanted to, thanks for your time. I know we've been here before, we should not be here the second time, you know. The whole scenario took place with Alam and Kathleen, you know. What I was told as well, it was a mispick came from the manufacturer.
I'm sorry,
Distributor.
Mispick came from a distributor, our suppliers are. We do not carry any flavor product at the store that we have a knowledge of it, you know. And it's pretty similar, the color, the sweet green and the green. And it came to us as a mistake, and luckily there's no product was sold. The whole 7-pack was in there. This is how they come in, and 30 packs in there. This is how it come in. So luckily there was no pack was sold at the site. It was a mispick. It was a mistake with the girl. She didn't pay attention. She just put them on a shelf, you know. And we changed them moving forward. Alam is responsible to handle all the tobacco. And we did call the manufacturer, the distributor, and we explained them what happened. So they took the product back. They gave us a credit. And I was telling Kathleen, I went to visit the facility because I told them, because this cannot be happen. So they showed me the whole process, how the whole order thing is picked, you know. Again, the color is the same. The only difference is green and green sweet on it, you know. Again, we were not selling any other, you know, product at the store. We've been through this before. Obviously, we never wanted to do this again. And it was an honest mistake, and it was a mispick, you know. And we apologize that happened, you know. And I just wanted to show you that we're not doing anything we're not supposed to do it, you know. And it was an honest mistake, you know. And I hope you guys will look into this, you know. Obviously, like I said, we've been through before. We would not repeat this again, you know, at all.
So, Kathleen, the Game Green were behind the Game Green sweets, correct?
Yeah, there were two boxes. I saw the Game Green first, and then there's Game Green sweets. They were kind of all mixed in together. There was one that was mixed in the same box.
But do you know for sure, 100% sure that none of the game greens were sold? You don't know?
No, I cannot verify that.
Okay.
No, it's come, I'm sorry, my name is Nasir Alam, I am Alam, manager there. Actually, it's the 2 packs come in one package, 7 of them, and all 7 were there. And other singles come 30 in a box, and all 30 were there. And if we try to hide, because if you look at the picture, it's clearly say green, not the green sweet in the front. So that girl, I don't work on Thursday morning, and a girl, she work in the morning, and that's our delivery day. And I even told her, don't put the tobacco product up there until I come. But she never listened. She just put the over there, and it was mixed with the sweet and green. That was a mispick by the distributor. And I was surprised when Kathleen, she showed me, oh, do you have a green here? I say, how is Kathleen? When I looked there, it was mixed with the green and green sweet. And now also, if we sell green, we don't make any money. People, customer, they come over there, they don't ask me, can you give me a green sweet or red sweet? They just ask me, can you give me a green red, like game red or game anything game green? They don't ask me sweet. And we always have a sweet over there, but that day, unluckily, Kathleen was there and we got the delivery, and then we, as Kathleen said, we just made the return and put it in the back room, and we returned them as it came to us, like it came in as a green sweet. So they gave us the credit as a green sweet, but we returned them.
I will say, there was game green and game green sweets mixed in the same box, so behind the green were sweets as well. I have to say this box is kind of dented. But the question I have is, who crosses out the prices for 2 cigars and then it's all blacked out? Because those are all green, so somebody must have blacked it out. Did they not look and see it's game green?
About the,
See right here?
who the mix that one?
No, see who crosses out the prices there?
See, we sell $1.99 for a pack of 2.
Yeah.
So when the product comes at the 99 cents, so either we can put a sticker over it or we put a black marker because we wanted to sell for $1.99, not for 99 cents.
So who does that?
Employee.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that they had time to black out all the prices and not once look down and see game green. That's what my concern is.
That was a green or green sweet
This is-
marked out.
Game green.
The green.
But also another comment is that the game green has, you're blacking out, but the green sweet, there is no place to black out on the front. So it doesn't say 99 cents or any price on the front of the green sweet. So it's a different box.
So what is a 4-pack? The 4-pack does not have any price on it.
Okay.
Only the
Yeah.
2-pack.
So it's different because
yes,
it's a
Yeah.
4-pack.
Yes.
And does the game green sweet come in a 2-pack?
Yes.
It does.
So if you look at it in a picture, one on the left and one on the right, so the one, even though we have pre-priced and we put the label on it.
Right here.
Okay, so this one, but that's, okay, but that's black.
I have can I be honest with you? I have no idea which one's sweets and which one's regular. Can somebody help me?
I just
It
took the
just- it
pictures
says
of just
sweets.
game green. Yeah, and then underneath
Oh, there's no sweet pictures. Okay.
no,
yeah.
because I just took the ones of the game
Thank
green.
you.
But it's just, yeah,
That makes me feel better.
If
so
you look
if you see the
here, this says
game
game
black.
sweet, game green sweets,
See it. Okay, perfect.
okay?
But in it-
And then these are just game green on either side of that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
But in the game green sweets, there's game greens. See the 4-pack
Yes.
of cigars? In that box, it says at the
It
bottom.
says sweets on the
Sweets.
box, but it's not
But in
sweets.
it is game greens.
Right.
I think it say on the box,
Yeah,
I see
okay,
it's a green.
that's really confusing.
Green.
All right.
It-
I assume,
I'm sorry.
So you have copies of this, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I gave.
Do you have copies of any invoices? Because I'm
Yes.
curious,
Yes.
also, would you mind?
Yes.
You probably need to make copies of this, I think. So I can leave them with you as a game.
So these are all the invoices that we get, every weekly basis, daily basis of, all the cigarettes and tobacco we buy. And you will see all game green in it, And this is something I just printed at the last minute that we send it back to the company. And this was a confirmation from them. Over customer number on it, date on it, and this is what we send back, the product
Okay.
response.
What about, do you have, how do you place your order? Is it a verbal thing over the phone, online, or?
Through over a smartphone. So it's sent to them, but they get picked differently over there by a human.
Do you have a copy of what you sent them requesting?
Yes. So that will be on the invoice. So if you will see the invoice, let me just take a quick look at that. Like this. So we will request them. Game 014113. So you will see on every invoice almost every thing you order.
So, and where do you order these from?
Well,
Is it someone in Massachusetts?
no, they are, that's not me.
They are,
Maine,
I think
okay.
in Maine.
The main office is where, that's where I went to visit them, because it's happening.
Okay.
And do you have the actual invoice that correlates with these?
Yes.
I'm sorry, can I mention something? Each delivery I see, not even one, 5, 6 items coming with the mispick.
Actually, it happened again last week.
It's not
Something
only the
came in,
game.
it was not supposed
Many
to be.
products nowadays I see on the each delivery, like at least 2, 3 items. They send me that what I did not order. It's a different flavor, like it's in the snack section or in the candy or other sections too. And sometimes I keep them because they are just for sale, but sometimes I return them. It's many mispicks coming from the distributor. I think over there's a big warehouse, people they work over there, they say grab that one, and sometimes unfortunately I get the big boxes what I never order, and they send in me, I had to return them back.
Are you
It's not
talking
only
about
kids.
retail food?
He's just talking about in general.
No,
this
just
is
in
back-
general.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah,
talking
so
about-
like retail food, they send you the wrong item.
Yes.
Yeah, like I order.
Yeah, that's totally different warehouse. So your tobacco's not gonna be coming from the same
It is
distributor.
No, same
The
distributor.
same distributor.
The same
Walmart.
distributor gives retail and tobacco?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
on this invoice right here, you have handicap fries, Starburst, etc.,
And tobacco
and
products.
tobacco and other toiletries, Tums.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are companies that
It's the same
combine.
Yeah,
distributor.
so they
Walmart.
do combine.
That's,
Walmart.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're using a distributor from Maine,
Yes.
and are they aware of the regulations for Massachusetts?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, so they, it's-
Are there ramifications for
When I
these
order, I'm
errors from
sorry.
the distributors?
I'm sorry, there?
And so,
Are there ramifications for the distributors?
You- I can find out, I'm sure you know. See, one of the things I was telling Catherine, I'm probably not answered your question properly, but, I went to visit them because of this situation. So they were showing me how the whole picking thing happens, Somebody called them on the headphone, they go by the numbers, blah, 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 and they pick up the product and they throw them in there, So is a person picking up the product as well, And one thing I just mentioned, he brought up to my attention last week, we get another product. It was a mint, it's not supposed to be in there,
yeah, another item, I showed him that this item I never ordered that, and I ordered, it was on, I guess,
Yeah, it was on,
on,
yeah.
and
So
I think.
since then, we have determined that nobody will take the tobacco except Alam, and he will verify them, check them before he puts them on the shelf.
Did you guys look at this?
Yeah, I specifically want to see,
Excuse me one second. The one, just make sure I didn't miss anything. So the one that you first showed me that you have underlined, where,
So-
where it does say, the game suite.
Yeah,
Yes,
That's the only
so,
place in here that's there. I didn't notice.
yeah. So you will see every week or twice a week we get a deliveries, and you probably will see every invoice will have a green suite in it,
So what's the name?
this one,
110.
January 10th. So the violation was on March 9th, so where's the invoice for that particular order?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
it's just in there, I think that just before
I don't know if you brought
March
all of them
9 is
or.
there.
110, 110, 120, 127, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. There. One. This is 120. That one's 110. Basically,
It's
it
not
says
there,
the same
March
thing.
invoice.
Don't know, whatever.
So do we not have the invoice for the date?
We probably will have it in there. If not, then we can get you, I thought he brought all the invoices with him, you know.
How do you know which invoice these came on?
So again, you know, it could be the same week, it could be a week before.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
nobody
exactly.
catch it
Yeah,
until it gets on a shelf,
the way
yes.
the inventory goes.
Correct.
Who knows?
I think
Well,
invoice is there
no,
just
because
before-
if-
just 1 week before.
If what was found was the same amounts that you ordered, then it should be easy for you to figure out which invoice it came from.
But see, again, you know, so
You
we don't
hadn't
know
sold
if it
any.
came in a week before, 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, because we keep all of the stuff in the back.
Oh, okay, and
And
then
so
you
they
put it up
take them out
front.
as they need them to.
Okay. I understand, thank you.
I think I see the
Basically,
invoice.
just another one. I didn't notice anything else on there as far as the games. Just that one that is labeled sweet. DJ, what is your view on this? What have you seen in the past from, say, other?
Well, from distributors, if it's a consistent problem, they can be reported to DOR, because they also have a license from Department of Revenue. I think it's more difficult if they are located out of state, which means that they don't have the same oversight that a Massachusetts distributor would have on them. And we've had some boards, or Kathleen's counterparts have, recommend, well, ask your distributor to pay the fine if you want. I mean, it's, but ultimately the suspension goes to the store. And so ultimately it's the store's responsibility to make sure everything that's on the floor, if food was recalled, ultimately it's the store's responsibility to go check that out. And so that's, we just can't, that's how the law's written. It's just impossible to go up and down the chain when the responsibility lay in one place.
Scott, Deli, I'm going to take copies of that.
Please. Thank you. Either you or Amy. The two. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No problem.
How often would you say you get products from this particular distributor that are incorrect?
We get the delivery twice a week. Sometime if I don't need anything, I don't order. Delivery is twice a week. That setup we have. But if I need something, I order, I see I don't have it, I order them, I see in the store.
Okay,
And-
but how often do you find that there's incorrect items from what you have ordered in those orders? Does
Almost-
it happen frequently? Does it happen?
Almost every delivery, almost I see every delivery have something is a different, I did not order that.
Okay,
And today I see the box, I will find out that's a kind of cookies, the whole display for the cookies. I see in the back room when I get the delivery, today is Thursday also, we get the delivery this morning. And when I came in, I see a cookies and I did not, because I was so busy, I will find out that who ordered, because I never order that whole display for the cookies too,
Okay.
Oreo cookies. So in almost in each delivery, we have a few mispicks over there. Maybe the people they work over, they don't, and language problem or something, I don't know, it's a huge warehouse. And I have a lot of mispicks come on nowadays, yes.
okay, and are you aware that there's incorrect products that come almost every time there's a delivery?
Yes, it was brought up
Yes.
to my attention as well, and we discussed with them as well for the same thing,
Okay, so my argument would be that if you get a delivery from these people twice a week,
Yes,
And in those deliveries, almost every single time, there is incorrect items.
yes,
Then you should be really checking to make sure that what the items are that are being delivered are the correct items.
So that kind of leads to my question. Is,
So, just to
Okay.
kind of hang on for 1 second. Does
Okay.
that make sense to you?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so clearly that didn't happen in this particular case. I can't speak for any other situation. But either this particular person who put these on the shelf did not know that,
exactly.
was
yes.
not trained in that. But
Yes.
ultimately, again, it is your responsibility as the owner to ensure that your staff is trained in that.
See, one of the things I notice is, obviously every invoice, you probably have 500 different products coming in, 200, 300 different products,
I understand.
And so a lot of the time I see that, people, even though I allow them to, they just put the product on, they don't really go through your invoices as well,
But
They-
you know that as the
Yeah,
owner.
I know.
And it is your responsibility to ensure that that does not occur.
Right, right. And
And
then a lot
as
of
a
times,
store owner, it's
Yes.
your responsibility.
Yes.
I get that it isn't easy. I'm not saying it's easy.
I know.
I'm not saying that at all, but that is your responsibility, and we just, in my opinion, cannot be having these types of mistakes happen. It's one thing if it's the wrong flavor of Skittles. You might have a 5-year-old that's a little upset because he got grape versus fruit, or some other fruit, but this is a tobacco product that is illegal in our state. So if you get other products that are not the correct ones, that's one thing. But when you have something like the tobacco products, that you really need to be on top of that. So if you're not checking any other products, that might be okay, because
Yeah.
those products that come aren't illegal,
Yeah.
but these are.
Yeah, but so like you said, so now no one's allowed to touch the tobacco product at all except alarm anymore.
I understand.
So
Yeah.
this
That-
is one of
that's
the
good
products
going
we
forward.
made it.
That is
I
wonderful
learned
going
all the
forward.
lessons,
Yes.
lessons now, good
Okay.
enough
Sorry
lessons.
to
No,
cut
no,
you
no.
off.
And honestly, I would not, that game green sweet, I don't think, in my mind, it's not a big difference between, I don't know either.
It
What is
doesn't
the
matter what
difference?
you think.
Yeah.
But,
That's the problem.
no,
The issue is that the state of Massachusetts, look, I don't care. I don't use any of these products. I don't even know what they are. This is the first time I've ever set eyes on it, other than the last time we were here
yeah,
talking about
actually,
So-
I'm talking about myself, that I would not make that mistake after a couple of weeks, again, what
Mm-hmm.
we have already been through. Like, if this is a game green and green tea sweet, it doesn't make any difference to our business, like, let me say, the customer-wise or the money-wise or anything. I would not put that product on the shelf, which is illegal, for nothing.
I
I
understand.
mean, it's nothing.
Okay.
I
I
don't get
understand.
anything except that trouble.
Yeah, no,
So-
we understand that.
Yeah.
My question I had, you kind of somewhat answered it, but if you go a little bit more in depth, what is the process for checking that inventory in the order as it comes in?
Well, the best way is now, because now I say don't touch any box which is have a tobacco in there. When you open that, they don't lock or something. They put that like the tape or kind of the kind of any kind of lock to the box. They are same open like other products they are. But I told everybody now that don't touch anything when we get that product tobacco. Don't touch. Don't put anything in the. We have a cupboard in the bag too. We keep it extra stuff in the bag on that cupboard. And I told them don't touch that boxes anymore because until I see it what's in there. So that's what we can do, because the tobacco products are way different than other food items.
Right.
So
Now, I'm sure they're not
no.
packing the tobacco in the same box as the Skittles.
yes, it's look like the same box,
The
the
handicap
same
price.
everything, and they're not even locked with
Yeah.
something tied or something. No.
Okay, yes, because I was thinking, thinking back to when I was growing up in my little, parents' grocery store, when we got it's my job to check in all the supplies coming in, when the Sweet Life or whatever truck came in, and I have to go, and I would be, counting everything that we got. Granted, yes, this is a little more on the individual piece side of it, and it is a decent, size order that you are getting. So I understand, I know sometimes you might be the only person there. working at the time, so it's difficult to be able to do that. Do you have to sign the invoice at all before they leave?
Yes, the delivery you're talking about, when they deliver the
When they
product?
deliver, when
Yeah, they have a
the
different,
company comes, brings the two-hand truck, brings all the product in.
yes, where they have a different paper, and they ask to the cashier, whoever the behind the counter, to sign that for the delivery
Without checking anything.
without checking anything. Yes.
The only thing they're responsible to count the cigarettes, because the cigarettes have to be counted before you sign the paper. That's the only thing that we require everybody to just verify the cigarettes is a high ticket item, if you're missing a carton, it's like $89,
And easy to count too, is count how many cartons they got. Yeah.
And the rest of the
Right.
grocery is all in the totes, so we don't count it for it.
Yeah, I would certainly suggest, as Christine started to say, before I interrupt her,
That's a- no, it's
was,
fine.
going forward, at least with the, tobacco products,
Well, believe me not, since
they
this
can't leave. They can't leave until you inspect that and make
I
sure,
can swear in here, I would not do that anymore.
that
one of the things
they're not making this mistake again.
No,
because
never.
it falls on you.
I really appreciate it. Again, one of the things we said, all the tobacco product will be sitting on the back from now on. It will not be on the floor anymore. It will not be behind the counter. It will be sitting on the back, in the back office, in the back room. When the alarm comes in, he'll verify it, then he puts them out in the shelf, This is the new, the protocol we have done it,
Yeah, so I actually, that was phenomenal insight. At the end of the day, you're responsible for what you sell. Much like, I'm assuming when you get milk delivered in individual bottles, you're checking the dates before you put them out on the shelf. Is that accurate?
Well, we hope we get the right dates on it. We don't check them the dates, Mostly when they go and fill the cooler, we always encourage them, old goes first, the new goes after,
I can mention something. I removed that milk 2%. I put in a crate and put in the corner. So because nobody put it, I put in the corner, way corner. Another employee came in. He thought, oh, why is it sitting here? He just picked it up and put it on the shelf again. And customer came on the counter with the expired milk. I usually do the bread and milk and that kind of stuff. I quick look on that.
Sounds like you need to have a bit more of
A quality assurance
Yeah,
system
quality
in
assurance
place.
And then I went to there, I
training program
found the
for the
whole
employees,
crate
not
was
just
there.
to
Yeah.
pack out. It's not that hard to take a glance at the date on the side of the milk.
Ultimately, you're the last hands. It goes from your hands to the consumer.
Exactly.
So you do have to
So-
bear some.
Yeah, when
A
this
brunt
happened,
of the
I usually look
responsibility.
at that, on the
We
bread,
are
milk,
taking all the
sandwiches. I quick look on the date, expiry date, if somebody made a mistake or something, always.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming that happens more often than you would like. That you get food that's not of good quality.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Kathy, did you guys have something else, or? Okay.
No, just, again, it's a legal product and
Yeah.
my hands are tied and
So,
Yeah.
may I ask? There is, what is it, between 3 and 7 days suspension?
1 in 7, I believe. Was it?
on
One and
Rockland,
seven.
it's 3.
What? Oh, a minimum of 3 to 7.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So 3 to
Okay.
7.
And last
Yeah, and then
board meeting, we voted on 7?
Correct.
Okay.
And the 2,000 fine is actually out of our hands, that's the state, correct? Yes.
He can appeal that ticket, though, right?
To the court.
To the
To the
court.
court, right.
Yeah.
Right, but we can't overturn that. So with that,
Oh, that's fine.
what is the board's pleasure? Do we want to keep the suspension as is? Do we want to reevaluate?
I think that this appears as if it's adding up to be an honest mistake. I agree with what this gentleman said.
Thank you.
There's no monetary value to having a few regular game greens mixed in with game sweets, they're not gonna become rich off of it.
Outdoors.
But when they're the only retail selling it, and people know that, that's where they go. So they're,
Right, but you didn't find like 20, you only found like these boxes that were up there, right?
That is all.
There wasn't like a supply out back? Okay.
That was, excuse me one second, that was all you found in this inspection.
Yes.
What was the time frame between the last time and now? The 4 months or
Yeah,
over a month?
so, yeah,
And-
about 4 months.
I
Yeah,
didn't, I don't recall the amounts, but on those 4 or 5 weeks of the invoices, each one did have the game on there.
What's the sweets?
The sweets, yes.
Not the regular game.
But
green.
who knows, how much more, came in. But they got sold. And then,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Replaced.
there's no way to verify that.
and you have the credit for the game greens?
Yes, was brought in
It's right
as
here.
well as, yeah.
Oh, the credit
Oh,
from
yes.
Cormac?
was this copied? No?
Okay,
Yes.
I see that.
Okay.
You can keep that actually, I just printed it out of my computer.
Oh,
You can
okay.
keep that, yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
No questions.
Anything else, Deltron? Before we
No, I don't.
decide.
No, I don't.
So with that,
I'm sorry, I do have a question, actually. So I'm looking at this invoice from March 17th. So his credit says invoice 0893076 on the credit. 08, but I don't see that invoice number on any of these.
Oh, so the credits from March 17th, that's because he doesn't have an invoice there for March.
No, he doesn't. His
Right.
invoice is an invoice number, 0893076.
Yep.
I don't see that invoice. So this March invoice number says NA.
Is that the March invoice that you have, is that the one that corresponds with the number you just read off?
No, so none of them do.
Okay, so we do not have the invoice.
We don't have invoice number
Right.
0893076.
Okay.
Yep.
okay.
So we don't actually know what was ordered from that particular invoice.
And this, yeah, and this doesn't show an invoice from Cormac. So this credit really doesn't.
Yeah, so that's the credit for this product, and they don't have the invoice in there for that.
Right.
It's
Right.
not there.
There's
Right.
no invoice, so we don't know if this
Yeah,
was actually
those-
purchased from Cormac because the credit doesn't show Cormac anywhere on it.
Correct.
No, we have actually, I'm sorry.
It was an electronic invoice came in as a credit. So we get all the electronic invoices as well for all the credits into our back office system. And when they come in to pick up the product, they bring a ticket, for pickup. And then, so they usually give us I can request them to send the hard copy, for the credit.
I don't think it's the issue is the credit. I think the issue is it's a credit for an invoice
Right.
from an order that you made
Yeah.
that we don't have an invoice
Right.
for, the
Okay.
original one.
Well-
We have old invoices that do not have anything to do with this, what we have here. So
They,
where is that original invoice from the credit, related to the credit that you got for these products?
we can get you I thought he brought all the invoices, but we can get you all the invoices as well. That's not an issue,
Can I explain something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when I see a mispick product, I call them or I have a tablet. Through the tablet, I go to the item number, I get this item, and I want to turn that. Now the invoice say you have an invoice number for that one. If that was that was not a mispick, like it's not a mispick. Like it's a couple of options that if you want to return for It's a couple of options I forgot, I'm sorry. If you wanna buy invoice number or just you wanna return this product because it's unwanted product came in, and I just process that way, just for the return online. And that when driver come, he come with the invoice, pickup invoice.
Pickup slip for the product was returned.
And he signed it that he pick up he signed for the pickup invoice, that he pick up that invoice. And he gave us the, like, one copy of that pickup invoice. And after a few days or maybe a week, they process the credit to us, whatever money coming back to our account. That's how it's processed. It doesn't have to be invoice number. Invoice number is for the order when we order the products, each invoice. And I have a few invoices with
I
that,
just don't understand how they gave you a credit and you don't have an invoice for it. That's my
Sure if
only.
this matches that or not.
I don't have
I have an
an invoice showing that you ordered, so they just gave you a credit?
No, so they didn't bring that invoice today. They have it, it's just not on them.
But I have the credit slip I give
Is
the
what he's
gentleman
saying.
over there when they pick up the product with the
I mean,
credit.
I can always follow up with
Okay,
Cornmark
so-
if you guys wanted me to and verify it.
I'm sorry, what? Still trying to sell
I
it.
said I would call, if I had all this information in advance, I would have discussed this with Cornmark directly. I would have verified what invoice number it was. Can you give me the invoice? Can you give me the credit? Because this is, I mean, this is a screenshot from his mobile phone.
So I think your question, if I'm correct, was that or your comment was that we don't know if that particular invoice was the return invoice from Cormac.
Right.
He just gave us
The pickup
this
signature.
pickup signature that has Cormac on the top. So would you see if that helps
I have
in
this.
what your
No,
question
it-
is?
Nope, it doesn't. Because
Okay.
if you look right here, it says original invoice number 7327.
Does not match.
Okay, which is,
Exactly.
does not match.
It does not
Got
match the
Which is what
credit.
I thought you were saying. I wanted to
Unless that
clarify.
invoice number is their credit invoice number, but it should represent the order
Well,
number.
it says
or-
original invoice number, so that should
Right.
match.
Right.
Yeah, because there's
I
a
have
pickup
this.
slip number and then there's an
Yeah.
original invoice number.
Yeah, I have this
Just
copy.
need to
Thank
take a
you.
look at that.
See, that's the copy of the same thing.
Got it, okay, I understand.
So that says NA. So I mean,
No, I understand,
Okay.
exactly, yep.
So can I see what that is?
This is just a copy
That's
that
a
you
copy.
have. Yeah,
That's
It's the
a
same
photocopy.
exact thing.
Yeah, that's a photocopy that.
And can I see what you're talking about, Dasha?
About the invoice numbers?
Yeah.
yeah, I can make copies of this one. So up here it says invoice number 0837, March 29.
Something we can find, but that's okay.
No, invoice number for the ordering.
And
invoice
that
number
is the
different.
original invoice
But
number.
credit invoice
Okay.
is
I
different.
don't know. We can find
They're-
it. Yes,
they're
they're different.
different numbers.
They're different numbers.
They're not supposed to be same anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
No,
do you
it's
want me to
true.
see that? I'll make copies of the credit.
yeah.
Do you want a copy of this also or no?
I have those.
We have a copy of
So
that.
that's his original, and I'll give him his original, and I'll keep the copy. And then I'll make copies of that.
No. This appears that it's cartons that have been the green sweet that were returned.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what I just said.
yeah.
Because
Why would that
we,
say green
we
sweet
ordered green
if we
sweet,
actually
it came in as a
ordered-
mispick, so they're gonna return as a mispick
Right.
what was ordered.
On the invoice, it says sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why are they they should, the
It
invoice
should
should
be,
say.
it should say green,
Green.
not green sweet.
Exactly.
Because
No,
what you
it's not
returned
Because they
was
cannot
green.
create the ticket with the green, because it was a mispick, it was, thank you.
It was a mispick, so they cannot create.
The system
as
does not allow them
capacity.
to enter the game green.
I would say there's
Pick
no
up.
way to, I mean, each company would have different, I would say there's no way to know.
Like
if
I
that's
can send
pertinent.
that item as a same, this, get the credit for the product, for the same way they send it to me.
So
I cannot send
Okay.
the item
So-
on the different, in different, in different shape. Like if they send me, for example, any what I order, they give me the credit for that amount and that item number. But they pick up their mistake item with them, they pick it up. But
I
they give me the
understand what you're
credit
saying.
for the
I
same
understand what
item.
you're saying.
I think, so what I feel is that regardless of any of this, you still have product, you're still responsible ultimately for the product that's in your store. So I don't think that it should go unpunished. I think there needs to be some type of repercussion. What I think we probably need to decide is if we want to, give them the benefit of the doubt and maybe be a little bit lenient.
No, I'm looking for forgiveness in the pardon. That's it. That's what we are in here. Like we do
Oh, so
not
you don't
do-
want any punishment?
Yeah, because we didn't do by purpose anything.
As I stated, at least with the fine,
Doesn't hurt to ask.
that doesn't hurt to ask, but
Well,
I need a forgiveness. That's it. I don't
So-
we're just here to make appeal, it's an honest mistake. It was not meant to happen, and we have no intention for it,
now,
We don't make anything. We don't do anything.
hypothetically speaking, if we did lower the suspension length of time, what would the next step be if this mistake happened again?
Oh, they would
Well-
get their tobacco permit pulled.
It would be considered a third violation. It'd be a
Yeah.
$5,000 fine. And
And
the
possible
suspension.
suspension.
A longer
longer.
suspension. I actually,
Yeah, revocation can actually, it may be in your regulation, I don't know. But even if it's not in your regulation, revocation is
state.
always possible with any Board of Health license or permit you issue, because you can take away what you issue as long as you give, proper due notice, due process.
And
Yeah.
I just need to state too, and I just gotta urge you guys. So there's a reason that I give you this checklist. It's for you to acknowledge that you know the tobacco rules and regulations. Alam, when an order comes in and it's not the same Oreo cookies that you wanted the pink Easter ones, but instead you got double stuff, you should be that on top of tobacco, or even more on tobacco. You should know the difference between Easter Oreos and double stuffs. You should know the difference between any tobacco product. Any tobacco product. If you are looking at your product for retail sale, you see that it's expired, you gotta toss it, you gotta get rid of it.
Exactly. Yes.
Right? That should be your number one priority when it comes to tobacco sales. You really, 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 it is your responsibility. It's, if Tariq is your Tariq's manager, Tariq's gonna get hurt by that. And it's mobile.
And already been hurt so
Yeah.
much.
I know, but I know, but I need to, I hear you say in this meeting that you ordered a particular cookie and a different cookie came, but you kept it because you can sell it. You
Sometimes,
can't
yes.
have that same attitude when it comes to tobacco
No,
sales.
no, that's right. That's correct. Tobacco is way different.
It is, yes.
different
And we are not
category.
neglecting it all,
No, we-
Well, you
after-
did
and
neglect it.
Again, like I said, it was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
After this, we're not neglecting anything at all, when it comes to tobacco.
No,
Yeah, nobody
I hope
should
not.
touch that.
I hope not too,
because if this happens again, like we just said, I mean, the fine, jumps up to $5,000, and the suspension is much worse.
Yes.
You don't want to be that store that people call up all the time and say they're selling. Because Big Brother's always watching, right? And you have a competitor that is doing the right thing, and people know which stores to go to. You don't want to be labeled as that bad store.
That's correct. That's
You want to
correct.
be on the up and up.
Exactly.
Know the
that's right.
difference between Game Green and Game Green Sweet. And that's really what it comes down to. If they realize the difference between Oreo cookies that they didn't order, they should know the difference on their tobacco products.
Okay, so,
Where
that,
I will be on the
what
top
is
of
the
this.
pleasure of the board?
I'd be okay with cutting it back to a 4-day. What are your thoughts?
I was thinking 5.
Okay,
I was actually thinking 5 myself.
you wanna go 5?
All I would appeal again, if you guys can have some more mercy, I would appreciate it, you know. It's
I
gonna
think
take a big
even
toll on
one
us,
day
you
is
know.
very
We haven't voted
disrespectful
yet.
for
The
me.
board
I
hasn't
know, I
voted
know.
yet.
I
So the
think-
chairman needs to discuss it.
Also, can I say something? If we one day suspension, how many customers they come over there and what we gonna tell them, hey, we
It's
cannot
more
sell you.
embarrassment.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
very
I
embarrassing
understand that,
for me.
I understand that, but the problem is that you have to own that embarrassment because you were not making sure that the product was correct on the shelf. So you have to own that embarrassment. So I'm sorry that that happened, and I understand people make mistakes, but it's our job to ensure that our community is safe.
Yes.
And if you take a look at the tobacco regulations and the statistics of what happens with young people, it's atrocious. And that it's just not okay. We cannot sit here as Board of Health and say, you know, I'm sorry, we're not gonna do anything about that. Or at least I can only speak for myself. I think the rest of the board agrees. But unfortunately, you will not walk away, I am pretty sure, without any suspension.
But that was I'm sorry, that was an honest mistake. It's
I
Yeah, we-
understand that,
we-
and we've kind of gone over that.
Honesty,
Okay.
already.
like-
Yeah, we understand that. Before we do take a vote, I just want to say this one thing. Behavior change happens with education, and there's also unfortunately, sometimes you have to go into the punishment side of it. Right? We have the education part right here, right, with everything all the information that we give you, you know, and to help you succeed in the business. And like I said, unfortunately, sometimes you know
There's consequences.
thank you. There are, and
And I will say in their defense, Tarek did reach out to Kathleen, and she did go with them on a product
Yeah, and I will say
in
also,
education.
I have done compliance checks there and they've been excellent.
Awesome.
Yeah. they've
I
been
think you
wonderful.
guys are like really nice people, and I think
Thank you.
I feel
agree.
like you're gonna be okay going forward. But unfortunately, I agree with the rest of my board that there does have to be repercussions. At the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make sure that that kind of thing doesn't happen.
And our role is to educate people, and sometimes just the words aren't enough. You gotta hit someone in the pocket, and that's the way it is.
Yeah, and it's,
And
sorry, Christine.
that's okay. Go ahead.
Can
I was
I
just gonna
ask
say-
DJ a question? DJ a question?
yeah.
So, once the board deliberates and they come to a date, a suspension, what is the responsibility of mobile as far as what do they do with their product?
It's actually your call, but typically, the typical procedure statewide is that they remove that product from the store for the number of days. And then Kathleen would go check them, maybe even every day, to make sure that it's not on premises.
So
Unfortunately,
it cannot be in the store at all? Not
Yeah,
not in the back room, not in a box somewhere, it has to be off the premises?
We have instances where people, we
Sell
say
from
put
the
it in the back store and they sell to their friends.
Right.
They put it in the trunk of their car and they sell it from the trunk of their car. We've had everything happen. So, yeah.
So really, that's only beneficial for you to mobile, to have it out of the store. That
Yes,
helps you.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the temptation's not there.
Okay. So, would you mind repeating your
Um,
motion?
I make a motion to reduce the 7-day sentenced to 5 days.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to reduce the suspension of the SEM Associates Mobile from 7 days down to 5. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Dates.
Yes.
I mean, it's really up to the two of you,
Yeah,
but
we
it's
can-
whatever makes sense to you for
Yes.
enforcement purposes.
We can look at that just to,
Logistics.
yeah, make sure that,
And then what, we notify mobile
And allow.
on dates?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we don't give
On the
dates today?
sales
Any,
side,
any length of time that they need?
it needs to be
Yeah.
consecutive business days, but most businesses are over 7 days a week, but that's in a row. So the letter would say, on this date, you'll stop at midnight,
Yeah.
and you can start again on.
So does the
12
board
months.
have any issues with Kathleen and I picking the dates?
I do not.
I do not.
I do not.
All right, so we'll work that out together. All right.
And just the understanding is, our expectation, I think I can speak for everyone, is that that product is nowhere near that property. Because we don't want to come back to this issue. And
We do
I
not
agree
wanna
with
be here
Cecilia,
because-
you guys seem like really nice guys. I think,
Appreciate
I think you're really trying. You gotta get over that hill, and we never want to see you again.
In here.
And I mean that in a nice
In-
way.
In the store, yes. In here,
I
no.
know, we appreciate it.
Maybe
you know, we-
around town, but
Yes,
not,
yes, yes.
not for this reason.
You know, and like I say, hopefully we will be more careful, but there's no other, the options, we have to be straight, we have to stay top of the game, And like I said, I apologize, I hate to be here for these things, we should be here for something better, something more pleasant,
Right.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Delchan.
You're welcome to.
Kathleen, thank you, board members, I'll be ready to hear back from you guys, and I will be reaching out to them for more training as well.
Yeah,
For
whatever
everybody
you
else,
need for training for the
Yes.
staff, I know, Alarm, you're the main
My go-to guy, yeah.
handler of the tobacco products, but in general, and even just, food safety also.
Yes,
We
yes,
brought up,
yeah.
Milk and that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
To anything to help with, the training of the staff, so
Yes.
they understand why, you look at the dates as you're, putting the jugs of milk out.
All right.
Kind of thing, is to make sure.
And just another comment, I mean, I would assume that Tariq gets some kind of a vacation. So you need a game plan for when he's not there.
I was gonna say, the dates are picked, and I'm out of here, I don't wanna be here.
You might not want to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my
And just as an aside, we've actually had some serious hearings across the state where people have left their store for whatever reason and left the neighbor in charge. And that's where
Yeah,
things go wrong.
right. So don't be leaving a neighbor in charge while this is supposed to happen, okay?
All right,
All
thank you so
right.
much,
All right.
appreciate it.
If there is nothing else, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And motion, second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. 6:59.
Thank you so much again, guys, appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you for the cooperation, like I said, any